President Trump is telling expectant mothers to avoid taking Tylenol during their pregnancy over fears that it can cause autism in children. He added that the FDA would be updating the label on acetaminophen to reflect the risk he claims.
Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it. You'll be uncomfortable. It won't be as easy, maybe, but don't take it. If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol. And don't give it to the baby after the baby is born.
The president, who was joined by HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., is citing data the administration says shows, quote, consistent associations between acetaminophen in pregnancy and autism. Now, acetaminophen is, of course, the name of the active drug in Tylenol. The president also called for an adjustment to the vaccination schedule of American children. He suggested separating measles, mumps, and rubella, commonly referred to as the MMR vaccine, into 3 separate shots. And Trump repeatedly stressed that these were his opinions and not necessarily those of medical professionals. And still, when pressed on whether or not he was now anti-vax, he sang the praises of vaccines in general. Earlier this week, the president said, quote, we found an answer to autism. And while he stopped short of such a bold assertion again, the administration also announced an FDA filing to change the label on a treatment called leucovorin. That's a vitamin used in cancer and anemia treatments that some doctors think may be effective for autism. Kimmel is back. After a messy few days, Jimmy Kimmel Live will return tonight. In a statement, ABC's parent company Disney said, quote, we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation. We've spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday. Sources tell the Post that Kimmel will address the suspension in his monologue tonight, but that he'll stop short of apologizing for the false claim that Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin was part of what he called, quote, the MAGA gang. Kimmel negotiated his return directly with Disney CEO Bob Iger and entertainment co-chair Dana Walton. Now, Disney reinstating Kimmel doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be able to watch the show wherever you're at. As of Monday night, it wasn't clear whether every ABC station would air it. You'll remember that big station groups, Sinclair and Nexstar, had threatened to preempt Kimmel before Disney had even sidelined him last week. And together, they own the lion's share of the stations where Kimmel airs. A spokesperson for Turning Point USA, that's the conservative group Charlie Kirk co-founded, said of Kimmel's return, quote, Disney and ABC caving and allowing Kimmel back on the air is not surprising, but it's their mistake to make. Nexstar and Sinclair do not have to make the same choice. A Tennessee dad did not get the welcome home he expected when he returned from a cruise with his kids and pregnant wife. Instead, he got arrested. Jason Allen Miller has fostered at least 20 children over the years. That's a fact that will become an important part of this story. Now, Miller was picked for a random screening at Port Miami this month after arriving from a vacation in the Cayman Islands. Now, during the search, for whatever reason, he willingly gave immigration agents the password to his cell phone, which is where authorities say they found several photos of suspected child sexual abuse hidden in his Google Photos app. Miller and his wife were traveling with 8 kids, ages 5 to 12, 7 of whom were children they fostered and then adopted. Now, Miller admitted to knowing there was child porn on his phone and claimed no one else had access to it. He was charged with possession and transportation of child pornography and could face up to 30 years behind bars if convicted. For more on this story and everything else you could possibly want to know, check out the New York Post in print or online. And don't forget, like and subscribe to the New York Post cast wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. You'll be glad you did.